Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that affects more people than you might think. People pleasing. You know, that overwhelming urge to say yes to everyone even when it drains you. Well, in this video we're going to talk about 10 signs that you might be a people pleaser, plus some tips on how to break free and start saying no without feeling guilty. Let's get into it. Sign number 1. You constantly say yes to things, even when you really don't want to. Whether it's staying late at work, helping a friend move for the 3rd time this year, or agreeing to plans you're not interested in, you just can't bring yourself to say no, and when you do, you feel anxious or guilty for letting someone down. Sound familiar? If you're saying yes all the time because you don't want to upset anyone, it might be a sign of people pleasing. Sign number 2. You feel responsible for other people's emotions. If someone around you is upset, anxious, or even just in a bad mood, you immediately feel like it's your job to fix it, even if it means putting your own feelings aside. You're constantly trying to cheer people up, or take the blame for things that aren't your fault. Sound exhausting? It's that constant emotional burden that comes with being a people pleaser. Sign number 3. You apologize for everything. I mean, everything. Even when it's not your fault, even when there's no need for an apology. It's like your default mode is, I'm sorry. For example, have you ever apologized for things like existing in a room or simply asking for what you need? If you're always saying sorry to keep the peace or avoid conflict, you might be caught in a people-pleasing cycle. Sign number 4. You have a hard time setting boundaries. Boundaries are so important in maintaining healthy relationships, but as a people pleaser, you may find it really difficult to say no or enforce limits on others. You might feel guilty if someone asks for something and you don't give it to them. Setting boundaries is essential for your mental health, so if you're constantly letting others cross yours, it might be time to reassess. Sign number 5. You put everyone else's needs ahead of your own, every single. You'll drop everything to help a friend or colleague, but when it comes to your own needs, you let them slide. This could be sacrificing sleep, skipping meals, or neglecting your own personal goals. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. Sign number 6. You feel emotionally drained after social interactions. You give so much of your energy to others, whether it's being the helper, the listener, or the problem solver, that by the end of the conversation, you're completely wiped out. If you feel constantly exhausted from trying to meet other people's needs, it's a sign you might be a people pleaser. Sign number 7. You have a deep fear of rejection or disapproval. The idea of someone being upset with you or thinking less of you keeps you up at night. You avoid conflict at all costs, even if it means sacrificing your own happiness. This kind of constant worry and self-doubt is often linked to people-pleasing tendencies. Sign number 8. You fear disappointing others. You'll go to extreme lengths to avoid letting someone down, even if it means compromising your values or interests. And when you do disappoint someone, you feel like you've failed, totally and completely. If you feel like you can't afford to disappoint anyone, it could be a sign you're overcommitting to others and undercommitting to yourself. Sign number 9. You avoid conflict at all costs. Whether it's with family, friends, or at work, you'll do anything to keep the peace. You'd rather swallow your feelings than risk an uncomfortable conversation, even if it means compromising your own well-being. Conflict is natural, and learning how to face it can actually strengthen relationships. Sign number 10. You struggle with self-worth unless you get validation from others. If your sense of value is tied to how much you can do for other people, and you feel low or anxious if you're not receiving approval, this is a big indicator of people-pleasing behavior. True self-worth comes from within, not from constantly seeking approval from others. So, how many of these signs resonated with you? If you're a people-pleaser, you're not alone, but it's important to recognize these patterns so you can start making healthier choices for yourself. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on personal growth, psychology, and mental well-being. And remember, you can't pour from an empty cup, so start filling yours first.